welcome Dennis Fowler.
Have you ever wanted to change the world? For the rest of you, would you like just to make a dent? To change the world, you need one, at least, of three things. You need an army, or you need a peace movement, or you need a chart. Have I got a chart for you that will change the world? Why would you do this? Is it to get a ribbon? Thank you. If you want a ribbon, go to Joanne Fabric. You can get lots of ribbon there. That's not why we do it. The whole purpose of achieving those 10 goals, or however many of them you can achieve as leaders, is so that we can improve and change the lives of the Toastmasters in our clubs, isn't it? Why are we Toastmasters? Why are the people in our clubs Toastmasters? It's so that as we get better in our own club, we get better outside the club. So as we achieve these goals and check off each one, that means that we have members in our clubs who are getting better as Toastmasters, and thereby getting better outside of Toastmasters as well. Toastmasters can change lives. Here's how it changed mine. If you had been in my office 2 years ago, it was an office a little smaller like this, but the lights were very similar. I was sitting at my desk, and Cindy Sletvold, the president of Dream Sellers, meets every Friday at noon, came in to visit me. She asked me one question: would you visit our Toastmasters Club? For years, I had heard about Toastmasters. I pictured them as a picture on TV or in the movies of some dark, smoky room, people sitting around a table, soft overhead lights, a podium up front where people got up and gave speeches. I had heard that around the table, one by one, people pop up and give these little talks. So I went to the club. It was brightly lit. They weren't sitting in a circle in that club, but we did get up and pop around and give up little speeches. I joined Dream Sellers and became a member of that for about 6 months. During those 6 months, I gave about half of my CC speeches. Then, because of business concerns, I'm a real estate broker, so you will understand business concerns, I dropped out of the club until one day, Melissa Kendall, who was at the time the president of Thursday Night Live, asked me one question: would you come visit Thursday Night Live Club? Well, she's kind of cute, so I said yes. Couldn't say no. I went. And for about 6 more months, got within a speech of finishing my CC. At that time, I considered going back to school, getting some more college and advanced degree, and thought this is really going to take my time. And so I sent an email to the leadership. I said, I'm going to back out. Just sorry, it's been fun. I love you all, but I got to back out. I'm pursuing other things. I had a phone call from Melissa, and she asked me one question with some text around the question. The text around the question was, we are one CC away from accomplishing our goal, and you have one speech left to give. Would you come back one more time and give that last speech, just to help our club? You don't have to, but it would help our club. And she was going for President's Distinguished for her club. So even though I couldn't see her, and she was cute, I said yes. As it turned out, I had 2 speeches left to give, so I gave them both that night. True story. Ate them both that night and could not say no to Toastmasters after that. I had finished a goal of my own. I finished CC in the spring, in May of 2009. I'm somewhat of a goal-oriented person, and I looked in the manuals to see, well, what does it take to get DTM now? I looked down the track, a leadership track, a speaking track. I said, I'd like the speaking track. Melissa liked the leadership track. I said, I'll race you. All we did was look at the chart. If you know what I'm talking about, the chart in the back of the manual, we didn't read it, where it said you have to do both. She's racing down the leadership track. I'm racing down the speaking track. In fact, I set a goal. I would like to finish this by the end of 2009. Well, I was a little discouraged when I found I had to do the leadership track too. So I started that. But my love and interest was in the speaking track. So starting in June, I gave 30 different speeches in 30 weeks and finished gold before the end of the year. Thank you, but that's not why I'm telling you the story. I went to some of Darren LaCroix's classes, started taking other courses. You can explain that after. Started looking into speaking seriously, got feedback from other people. Toastmasters changed my life. I was a real estate broker for 8 years. At the end of the year, decided to go professional as a speaker and change my whole life's track. Because that day, sitting in my office under lights like this, Cindy Sletbold asked me one question: would you come to our Toastmasters class? And when I dropped out, Melissa Kendall said, would you come and give one more speech? Toastmasters changed my life. My point is this: there are 6.8 billion people on the planet. You're probably not going to reach them all. Sociologists tell us that in our circle of friends, we have about 300 people that we know on a friendly basis, on average. Melissa has 600 Facebook friends. I balanced that out with my 60 or so. But the average is 30 that we're friends with. That's 300. If you take what you know from your life, your stories, your lessons learned, and craft them into speeches, into presentations, whatever it is, if it's technical, if it's business, if it's over the phone, if it's on the internet, if it's in front of groups, take your stories and tell them to everybody else. Don't keep them to yourself. That's not why they're given to you. The purpose for the Distinguished Club program is to change Toastmasters so Toastmasters can have an influence on those around us. That's why we do the Distinguished Club program. Because every one of you has a story, stories in life that need to be told. And you never know who you're going to influence or who you're going to reach. One person might need motivation to get out of bed in the morning. Another person might need just an inspiration. Another person might need just an idea to finish out what they're working on in their heads. Somebody else might need a warning. You don't know that you might help the person just through the next day. That, fellow Toastmasters, is why we do the Distinguished Club program. Because as we do it, we change lives. Go tell your story.